5 beautiful natural wonders that no longer exist. 5. God's Finger, Spain. The symbol of Gran Canaria, El Dedo de Dios, also known as God's Finger, used to be a 98-foot-tall rock formation to the north of Gran Canaria, and an island in the chain that makes up the Canary Islands. The rock's distinct shape has inspired numerous artists over the years, and many believe that the famous writer Domingo Dorist was the first to pen its name. In November 2005, Tropical Storm Delta created havoc all along the coastline, and the ensuing immense waves finally toppled the top part of the 300,000-year-old rock feature. After God's Finger was destroyed, a team of experts investigated the possibility of rebuilding the famous landmark. However, the majority advised against its restoration and outlined a plan to conserve what remained of the iconic rock. Today, what remains of the rocky feature is known as Roque Partido. Although the landscape has lost a little bit of its magic, it is still one of the most beautiful landscapes in the world. 4. Old Man of the Mountain, New Hampshire. The legendary granite rock face of New Hampshire's Old Man of the Mountain collapsed in 2003. The 6,530 metric ton angular rocky outcrop stood nearly 45 feet tall and 30 feet wide on a mountainside in a climate prone to freeze-thaw corrosion. As a result, it was widely anticipated that the state emblem, also known as the Great Stone Face, would eventually collapse. Several previous efforts to preserve the natural wonder had been made beginning from the early 1900s. However, the news of the old man's demise still surprised many geologists. As with many of the other lost natural wonders on our list, local residents wish to reconstruct the lost monument. Arguments against such a project, such as the remaining rock mass's volatility, the threat to workers, and the potential for environmental harm, eventually put an end to any such plans. Instead, the Old Man of the Mountain Legacy Fund spearheaded a new project to honor the Old Man of the Mountain. If you go to the spot today, you'll find yourself in a plaza with special viewers or profilers that create a perfect optical illusion of the mountain's former rock face. 3. The Aral Sea, Central Asia. The Aral Sea used to be among the 5 largest landlocked stretches of water in the world. Today its shallow remains can be found in Central Asia's climatically hostile geographical area, not far from the Caspian Sea. The disappearance of the Aral Sea is of keen importance and rising concern to researchers due to the enormous reduction in its surface area, which began in the second half of the 20th century and has continued to this day. The redirection of the Amu Darya and Surdarya river systems for irrigation purposes, when the area was under Soviet control, was pretty much exclusively responsible for this change, as both were primary contributors to inflowing water to the Aral Sea. 2. Valley of Geysers, Russia. The Valley of Geysers in Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula used to be the world's second largest concentration of natural geysers, the first being Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming. About 90 geysers could be found in the 6-kilometer-long, 3.7-mile basin. Tragically, the Valley of Geysers was struck by a massive landslide in 2007. A mudslide containing snow, water, stones, and shards of rock swept down at 20 to 25 miles per hour, engulfing everything in its wake. The mass flooded the river and produced a dam, consuming the Valley of Geysers' most spectacular features: boiling springs, thermal fields, and waterfalls. 1. Tenir tree, Niger. For hundreds of generations, a single acacia tree thrived amid the sands of Africa's Sahara Desert. The lonely tree provided shade for years for all its weary visitors. But it offered so much more. It functioned not only as a landmark along a lengthy trade route through the desolate countryside, but also as a testament to life's tenacity, as it was the only tree that could be found for 250 miles. In the 1930s, European military campaigners who came across the tree in the wilderness dubbed it l'Arbre du Tenir, the Tree of Tenir, and its placement on cartographers' charts highlighted the tree's exceptional peculiarity as the world's most secluded tree.